I'm Jason, UFC, and today we have a story about Israel Adesanya picks the UFC 300 main event winner between Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya is keeping an eye on a UFC 300 main event between former foe Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. Pereira will make his first UFC light heavyweight title defense against Jamal Hill on Saturday at UFC 300. He captured Pereira captured the then vacant light heavyweight belt by finishing Yuri Prochazka at UFC 295 earlier this year. Jamal Hill returns after winning and then vacating the UFC light heavyweight championship in 2023. He suffered a torn Achilles shortly after defeating Glover Teixeira at UFC 283 last January, I believe. Okay, so let's get into this. It says Israel Adesanya picks Jamal Hill to dethrone Alex Pereira after a recent meeting. Let me see. In a recent breakdown on his YouTube channel, go and subscribe to Israel Adesanya YouTube channel and hit the thumbs up button. Israel Adesanya made his pick for the UFC 300 main event. This is what Israel Adesanya has. This is what Israel Adesanya says. Jamal Hill, I don't think, is scared. Scary knockout power as well. Alex can get knocked out. Avoiding the leg kicks is the tricky bit, and I know Jamal has some remedies for that. Okay, 5 rounds, going to be a slow start. Jamal Hill is going to try to get his fist on Alex's head, just like he did with Johnny Walker. I'm going to go with Jamal Hill by knockout, first 2.5 rounds. Wow, okay. I think that's basically the rest of the story there. That's an interesting pick there. I want to preface this by saying I am a MMA casual, so I don't follow all of this. But in my opinion, I'm going with Alex Pereira. As far as Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya, I believe they fought. How many times did they fight? I think maybe 4 times. Twice in kickboxing, and I believe twice in the UFC. The first fight in the UFC, Alex Pereira defeated Israel Adesanya for the UFC championship. And then, was that last year? I believe last year, Israel Adesanya defeated Alex Pereira. He knocked him out to win back the UFC middleweight championship. After that, Alex Pereira moved up to the light heavyweight division where he, in his first fight, he defeated Jan Blachowicz, I believe, right? And Israel Adesanya already had a loss when Israel Adesanya moved up to the light heavyweight division to try to become double champion. He lost. Israel Adesanya lost to Jan Blachowicz. After that fight, Alex Pereira then ended up fighting Yuri Prochazka because Yuri Prochazka was the champion, right? He defeated Glover Teixeira, I believe, in a 5th round, like a few years ago. But then he had what UFC described as the worst shoulder injury of all time. So Yuri Prochazka vacated the championship. And then Jamal Hill ended up defeating Glover Teixeira in Brazil. I believe that was last January. Glover Teixeira retired after that fight. I remember there was like a photo or video of Alex Pereira, kind of looking at Jamal Hill like, Alex Pereira look. And now they're going to be fighting for the vacant belt after Jamal Hill defeated Glover Teixeira, who is a training partner. I don't know if he's like the head coach, training partner. I don't really, I'm an MMA casual, so I don't know. But he basically trains Alex Pereira, so there's history there between Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. But like I said, I'm going to go with Alex Pereira. I think Alex Pereira, coming off of a victory over Jan Blachowicz, coming off of a victory over Yuri Prochazka, he's clearly built for the UFC light heavyweight division. He's settled in to that weight class. He's not cutting down. Alex Pereira is not cutting down to make 185 pounds. He never missed weight, but obviously there were stories that Alex Pereira, when he was fighting in the middleweight division, was walking around as high as like 220. Like I don't know if that's for sure, but he clearly weighed over 210 pounds, so he will be ready for Jamahal Hill. And the big wild card in this fight, like Israel Adesanya says, is this: avoiding the leg kicks is tricky. Now, obviously, with Jamahal Hill coming off of a torn Achilles, right? I think he torn his Achilles last year. I don't know if it was like in the summer. I thought it was in like, I don't know, maybe June or July or something of last year. So I don't know if it's even been a full 12 months to come back from a torn Achilles. Obviously, this main event was kind of made on a last minute notice, right? Like we didn't really, this wasn't the first fight pick. This was the last fight announced for UFC 300 for the most part, I believe. So we have to see, how does Jamahal Hill deal with Alex Pereira's very, 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 very tricky leg kicks, and how is Jamahal Hill's Achilles going to hold up in 5 rounds in less than a year versus someone like Alex Pereira. But like I said, I'm an MMA casual, so what the hell do I know? Let me know your opinion of this fight. Who do you think is going to win this fight of UFC 300 main event? Alex Pereira, champion, UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira versus challenger, former UFC light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya predicts Jamahal Hill to defeat Alex Pereira at UFC 300. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button. And please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.